Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to the homestead. Just over my shoulder here is a compost area. It looks like an overgrown mess of weeds at the moment, which it is. But what we're going to do is transform this into a really nice new compost area with, I think, a 3-bay compost system built with wood here, and get back into composting because we need to make a lot of compost for our garden over here. Desperately needs more organic matter in our sandy soil. So first job will be to trim all this with a strimmer, and then clean it up a bit, and then we can see what we're doing there. Probably this old compost pile here, get that out and on the bed somewhere, and then we can start building the new compost bed with all the timber that I've got. Right, I just started working out the bay sizes as I remember them. A couple of things is I realised that the ground obviously is really not level. So it goes up here. As it turns out, here it is very level. I've just got one of the pieces of wood out that I'm going to use. Here, not so much. The original idea was to build 3 bays. Well, it still will be 3 bays, but open bays that you just throw the stuff in, not closed bays. Jury's out. I might change my mind on that. And the only thing I've discovered is I'm pretty sure this wood arrived last year sometime. It's a different size to how I remember it in terms of its length. So I need to just check tonight. It's late now in the evening, so I'm going to go inside anyway and have something to eat. But okay, it's the next day. So mystery solved with the wood. So originally I ordered 6-meter sections, planks, with the view of having a 4-meter compost station and then 2 meters coming out, I think. So I would cut all the pieces, 20 pieces, into 4-meter sections or 2-meter sections. Just before the wood was arrived, the factory, I remembered the timber yard rang up and said they can't do 6 meters, they can do 4.5 meters, but they'll increase the quantity so that I still get the same amount of wood. Now, if you needed 6-meter sections, that's a problem. The reason they do that is because here they sell it by the cubic meter rather than specifically the length. So you're paying a price per cubic meter when you order wood here. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 centimeters long or 5 meters long. As it happens, this is a positive because that is 4.5 meters there. It means that I can separate the bays into 1.5 meters nicely, and then I can cut the pieces into 1.5 meter smaller planks. It actually means I've got less cutting to do because I don't need to cut these bits at all. They're ready to go, which, as it happens, has worked out well. This wood is over a year old now, so I'd forgotten all that. That's the mystery solved. So I've got a 1.5 meter length and a 4.5 meter length there, and it's going to work out perfectly. The land is not sloped too much, but it is definitely sloped, so I've had to dig it away to get it level. And then the bottom piece, I probably won't bother with it. Well, the bottom piece will have to be sacrificial because it will clearly rot quicker than the other bits on the side. So but that's no problem, it's easy to replace, and it's what, a couple of euros or something. Maybe I'll char it, or shusugi ban, just to give it a little bit longer life. But it's it's a compost area, it is what it is. So that's that. Next, so I've obviously moved half of this and dumped it over there. I don't know if you can see, started building some no dig beds there, and then the rest of this can go later. Got to do something with this pile as well, because that still needs to be composted. That's kind of an active pile, so effectively that will be in this bay here. The first bay being well, it's natural to move from left to right, but actually it's the closer to the house when we come out to put stuff on it. Yeah, and so it's just a case of now of getting on, and I'm getting the post done, and I'm not putting the post in the ground. Well, I will at the front here, but not at the back, because that at the back it sits itself. And just getting on with it, really. Okay, so the first job was to get the back posts in the far left and far right. Now, what I'm doing here is setting them plumb and true. It doesn't matter how high they are or how far they go into the ground. In fact, they're not in the ground at all, because this structure is going to be kind of semi-permanent, I suppose, and it's self-supporting once you get all the boards on around it. Next job is to char the boards a bit, just to give it a little bit more extra protection. Those boards are going to be touching the ground surface. Just going to char them. Shusugi ban is a Japanese term, and that might give them just a little bit more life, but to replace them is no problem, as I already mentioned. So then get the sides on and get that side post in, and get that a little bit in the ground so that it doesn't have any flexibility in moving out and in whilst in the ground, and then I can start fixing the sideboards on like I am here. It's still going to be a bit of wiggle, and that's okay. Then getting these backboards, I can start building the backboards then. It's a lot easier. And once I've got a few in, then I can put a tight string across and use the string line to make sure that the boards are not warped in any way. And then I can get those other back posts in and get those screwed into those back panels like I'm doing there. Once they're in, then I can do the rest of the back panels and secure them with the screws. And you can see across the top I've got one, all those posts at the back are actually the same height. Then it's a case of just getting the internal bay sides in, getting them level to start with. There's a bit of a slope in the land, as I've mentioned, and then getting those posts in and making sure that, again, they're plumb. I've got to move this compost pile so I can get the other bay sides in, and I start digging it over into where it's going to go. I think I made a mistake. Originally I said I was going to put it into the far one, but of course this is mostly already composted, so it can go to the middle one, finish off, and then it'll be used this autumn or next spring. Like I say, it is a semi-permanent structure. I'm pretty happy that it's going to stay here, but if I do want to move it at a later date, I just want an easy way to do that, really, so that's why I'm not concreting anything in at this stage anyway. Okay, we're sort of done. The bays are made now, as you've just seen. What I've done is I've emptied the rest of this pile that was here, one of the old piles, into there, and you can see, despite that one, an old pile being 3/4 full, you can see how much more room there is. It's at least twice, probably 2.5 times the capacity in these bays than there was in the old one, so that's really exciting. And we've got 2 bays, so this will be a new one. This will be last year's, which is now going to fester and be finished next year. There's a few weed rhizomes in there, but I'll probably cover that over and kill those off, and then hopefully by next year I will work on a sieving system. And then in the third bay, what I'm thinking of is maybe doing some leaf mold compost, something like that. Obviously we have a lot of trees around, and we end up with a lot of leaves. So that might work really well there. Leaf mold compost is great for the garden. And you can see, you know, once this is all trimmed, everything around, everything there is all long, everything in the garden, when all the potatoes are harvested, all the straw and the old plants, all the biomass at the top there, once, you know, all that will come down and go into the new bay here, and will provide lots of new compost for the end of next year or the year after that, whatever. So that's all exciting, and then there's still half of the old pile to go out into the garden. I'm pretty pleased. I'm just going to finish off now by working out. I've got a few panels left, enough to make some sliding panels at the front here to keep the compost back, which we can slide in. I'll just work that out now, do that now to finish the video, and then I think we're done. Right, there we go, all done. All the front covers on. I put this one's higher because of just the way the numbers work through the planks, and also that's going to be leaf mold probably, so it needs to be a bit higher. And the compost, I've already started this compost pile, as you saw as well. So we've got a start on it, all done. And now I am going to go in for a cup of tea, and I will say goodbye to you. If you've got any questions or comments, do leave them below. If I've not answered anything during the video, any suggestions to make improvements, then I'm all ears really. Yeah, so take care, and I'll see you in another video very soon.